are back in black in the building. Man, shout out to everybody out there at the Court Plantation, making it do what it need to do to survive. Shout out to everybody out there handling business. Hey, when you at that Court Plantation, do your job and go home. We're going to get into that in a minute. We're going to talk about not FBA business. That's the title. But before that, we're going to do the roll call like we always do. Let's go state by state. Shout out to the homegirl, my sis, Shawnee from Philly. Philly in the building, stand up. Shout out to the homegirl, my sis too, Erica, Florida, aka Florida in the building, stand up. Shout out to Arizona, the homegirls, Miss Tanya Latanya in the building. Shout out to them, man. Stand up. Arizona's in the building. Hey, man, shout out to Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas, Nevada is definitely in the building. Shout out to all my siblings out there. You know, we just handling business, doing what we need to do. Hey, man, I'm going to keep telling you that, man, we got to go to work. What we supposed to do? So we got to go to work. We ain't got no choice. You better not be trying to go to work or do something around my siblings, because they going to talk about your ass to your face. They definitely going to be like, so what you plan on doing all day? I got a funny story, but that shit was funny. But anyway, shout out to all my siblings and all my family out there in Las Vegas, Nevada. Shout out to my brothers, Dave from No Compromise, Georgia in the building, James Youngblood, Texas, definitely in the building. I got to get with my brother, man, so I can start really promoting his new platform, man. He got a dope platform. We was on it. And as soon as we start talking about real shit, it started fucking around. He used to do that with David all the time. That's why we had to do the Twitter spaces, because when we would go live on Instagram, it'd be an issue. When we would go live, me and David would do shit, it would be an issue. It would start tripping. The only time it wouldn't trip is when we would do Twitter space. We haven't done a Twitter space in a long time. But go check out my brother Dave from No Compromise, man. So shout out to them brothers. Shout out to the homegirl Jerica too in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's my sis. And shout out to the homegirl Melina, North Carolina, aka North Kakalaka. Man, we about to get into it. Man, this is gonna be a decent one today. Let's get it. Hey, make a nigga wanna rap, huh? Don't get me to rapping in this motherfucker. No, I'm just fucking with y'all. Man, I got some video to play, man. Man, I am so, first of all, the reason why I'm so happy and excited about today, and the reason why I am because I'm watching all these protests and all this, and, you know, shout out to my Jewish brothers and sisters and my Palestinians, and that's y'all disagreement, but you know what I'm so proud of? FBA's just backing away, not jumping in it, not acting a fool, not picking a side. I'm so proud of FBA for just being like, that's not my fight. That don't have nothing to do with foundational Black Americans, and I'm not getting involved in none of that, and I don't care. It's not my problem. I wanted to just give us props on how proud I am that we ain't doing that. Because that is very, very, very easy for us to do. Everybody always comes to us and wants us to, you know, not necessarily fight the battle. You know what I mean? Hold on for just 1 second. There we go. All right, hold on. Because I got some video. And I just want to give us props because normally, this is what we do. We see an issue and we know it's injustice, and we have that Martin Luther King approach, the MLK approach, like justice anywhere is justice everywhere. So we do have that, like, hey, that shit ain't cool. But we also have a Dr. Claude Anderson mentality, and Dr. Frances Welsing mentality, and a Dr. John Henry Clark mentality, and a Nelly Fuller Jr. mentality of that's not my fault. That's not my fight. I don't have a dog in that fight, and I'm not getting involved in that. And I'm not putting myself or my people in danger for something that doesn't, you know, frankly, involve foundational Black Americans. We got our own war we got to fight. We're not trying to be jumping in, getting in other people's bullshit. So I'm very, very proud of us for that. But I'm not going to lie to you. It is very entertaining to watch these two class of people get into it about something they have no idea. They just have no idea about. But I'm just so happy that you don't see foundational Black Americans jumping in it and saying stupid shit and losing their jobs and losing their financial stability over something that has nothing to do with us. So I love it. I'm gonna play this audio and y'all tell me what y'all think.
This was the scene at New York University just a short time ago. Police say they moved in after protesters refused to disperse. Numerous students and faculty members were arrested. Protests have spread to other college campuses as well. Columbia University, the epicenter of the protests, says all classes at its main campus will be hybrid until the semester ends in an attempt to diffuse the tension. And CNN's Isabel Rosales reports some Jewish students are terrified.
I was assaulted in the middle of campus. This is an actual crisis and an imminent threat.
Tensions boiling over at Columbia.
Israel.
And other top universities like MIT, NYU, and Yale, where at least 45 protesters camping on college grounds were arrested early this morning by the Yale University Police Department. Yale University releasing a statement saying the university would not tolerate behavior that interfered with university operations or threatened, harassed, or intimidated others.
But you ain't heard about nobody getting kicked out of school. You ain't heard about nobody being expelled from school for exciting violence. But we're just not going to tolerate that.
The arrests on college campuses coming as verbal confrontations.
Go back to Poland? Who says that?
Go back to Poland.
Between pro-Palestinian protesters and Jewish students
So they can knock into me?
have escalated into physical ones.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Look, I'm so proud of my FBA brothers and sisters for being like, nope, y'all gonna have to hold your own one on that one. That ain't got shit to do with FBA. Man, I'm proud of y'all, man, for real.
My friend on Saturday night was full-blown assaulted. He was shoved around.
My friend had a flag stolen out of his hands and rocks thrown at his face.
Columbia Monday resorting to canceling in-person classes and calling for a reset to de-escalate the rancor. A rabbi linked to the university urging Jewish students to stay home, saying the events have made it clear that Columbia University's public safety and the NYPD cannot guarantee Jewish students' safety. The hostilities at Columbia growing for months alongside peaceful protesters camping in this tent city. The encampment and the fear drawing criticism from business leaders like New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft, who says he will no longer be donating to his alma mater, though he financially supports the Jewish Hillel on campus.
I just can't believe in New York City at Columbia University, Jewish students are afraid to go to classes.
The rebuke coming amid calls for action from congressional leaders who toured the Columbia campus today.
That is unacceptable for a university. That is unacceptable for an academic institution. And all universities have an obligation to maintain the safety and security of their students from all backgrounds.
We would like you to leave! We would like you to leave!
The NYPD saying they're prepared to enter Columbia's campus if they're called in, and pointing to the heavy police presence just outside Columbia's gates.
Man.
Any kind of violence is not going to be tolerated, and that includes harassment.
Let me give you a sense of the movements that we've seen from these demonstrators here on the campus of Yale. Monday morning, that is when we saw tensions really rising between police officers and demonstrators. When they were asked to disperse, those that didn't, well, we saw them arrested and charged, just under 50 of them. That area, a university plaza just in that direction, now has been blocked off by police cruisers and yellow tape. Then a couple of hours after that, we saw them occupying a public road just a couple of blocks that away. When officers told them to leave, they did. And now they're gathered here in front of the university's library. At times, we hear them chanting, singing, displaying the Palestinian flag as well. Meanwhile, New Haven's mayor putting out a statement saying that their First Amendment right to protest, that is important, but it is also important that it is done in a, quote, safe and orderly manner.
Oh, man. That's crazy. Let's cut the music back on. God damn. So, look. This is what I think. I think we don't have a dog in that fight. I think that is a travesty what they got going on against each other. I don't want to know. because that is not my concern. My concern is about replacing the system of racism and white supremacy and establishing a system of justice, meaning the racial group that needs the most constructive help receives the most constructive help. So I'm very proud of my FBA brothers and sisters. I tell people, if you black and you be like, man, I don't know what's going on, the first thing I'm gonna say is, who gives a fuck? That ain't our problem. We too busy worried about what the fuck everybody else got going on. But we ain't never worried about what the fuck we got going on. Let me tell you one thing that I see at the dominant society's core plantation. I don't see no foundational black Americans in charge. And if you are, you from that LGBTQ, LMNOP, XYZ community, or you're an immigrant. You're not from here. That's what we need to worry about. We need to worry about why is it our families, why are our families not being put in positions to win? Why isn't FBA families at the helm of these Fortune 500 companies? Why is it that we're struggling to make housing affordable for our people when we're owning homes? We're having money market accounts and mutual funds and stock and 401k. Why do we not have and own and have possession of that? Why is that not the norm? That's why I don't pay attention to none of that other sucker shit, because I know what we are lacking. That's why I don't want to, like, look, people cannot listen to Neely Fuller Jr., but I'll be listening to that motherfucker. I'll be reading. And I don't mean the motherfucker like he you know, like, fuck him, but I mean, like, he be saying real shit. Like, I remember one time when I read the book, The Four Wall Effect, I was just like, I started imagining, you know, just being in a room with a bunch of black folk and you just arguing and fighting, you're not solving problems. And we do that all day, every day. So to sit back and watch another racial group get into it with another racial group, and it ain't got shit to do with black people, I love it, because it ain't our fight. And for once, we not on TV acting a goddamn fool. Let they asses act the fool. Let them do that. Stay out of that. Don't even give no comments. Say, I have no idea. And when they be like, well, I don't think that's right, and say, I'm trying to replace the system of racism and white supremacy, and I'm trying to establish a system of justice. Well, what does that mean? Meaning the racial group that needs the most constructive help receives the most constructive help. Well, who's the racial group that needs the most constructive help? Foundational black Americans. We built this country for free without repayment. So I don't have time to be over there looking at you. I have blinders on like they do with horses when they race. They put blinders on horses so they can look straight and not look nowhere else. And that's what we need to be doing. We don't need to be focusing on nobody else but our racial group and what we need to do to progress. That's all. You get without, if you get around any other racial group and they're not putting you in a position to win, then there's nothing I can do for you. And you don't need to be around them. Remember that. You're like, Warren, why are you saying this? The reason why I'm saying it is because, you know, look, I even looked at the NBA. Let me tell you something. We are so not together. The NBA is like, well, we're just going to include every other racial group. Because really, they don't really want foundational black Americans in the NBA. If they can go get tethers to replace all of us, they would. But they can't. Because you're not going to find a tether LeBron James or a tether Kobe Bryant or a tether T-Mac or a tether Magic Johnson or a tether Isaiah or a tether Michael fucking Jordan. And that's what they hate the most, because you're not going to find that. So they want to make it global and include everyone. And we have to understand what is at stake. Know your worth. That's why you don't have time to be focusing on what the fuck they got going. I even watch, I said, oh, Dems, that's going to be another topic. Look like the Dems are in trouble and out of options. They ain't trying to do whatever they can. Trump, this is light work for this dude. This dude's a billionaire. He's a white man that's a billionaire. All you black motherfuckers up there talking, man, Trump gonna go to jail. Trump gonna go to jail. You know, shit, the Dems gonna get him. Biden gonna get him. Trump. And I quote, as Neely Fuller Jr. said, when you see two white people having a disagreement, if they are not replacing the system of racism, white supremacy, and establishing the system of justice, those are just two slave owners arguing over who's the biggest plantation owner. That's all they're arguing about. They're not arguing about changing the system. So if they're not arguing about changing the system, why even be invested in it? Why you think the Dems, they run out of options? They're trying to pull everything out of the hat. It's a wrap. Kamala, Joe, you're done. Pack your shit up. You might as well start packing up your shit and start getting your shit together right now, because you're not going to be in office. And Foundation of Black Americans, I'm proud of y'all, because now we know, like, no, we definitely not fucking with you now. See, it's more of this. We have been awakened. That's all that is. We were asleep, but we have been awakened. And now a lot of foundational Black Americans is like, hey, this motherfucker ain't doing. Matter of fact, nobody's doing anything for Black folk. That's why people are running away from California, because the dominant society has let it get so out of control in California that it's unaffordable for the average foundational Black American. So now they're running to places like Vegas and Arizona and everywhere else. Why do you think that is? Why don't you think they won't just close the borders and stop that? Why would you agree to work hard and get money taken out of your check for an illegal immigrant to move past you and leapfrog you in this game of life and own businesses and everything else while you can barely struggle to pay your bills? So you would have to be a buffoon to think that it's okay to allow people to take money out of your check that you go to work for every week so some immigrants could come over here and have a better life. Let me tell you how Warren feels about it. I'm not trying to go to another country and have a better life. I'm trying to have a better life in the United States of America Incorporated because my ancestors built it for free without repayment. And when I look around at my siblings and my family and other Black foundational families and how we're still poverty stricken mentally, we can't get to the dollar the way we want to get to it. We got to work 50 goddamn years just to go purchase a home that's dated as I have a problem. I have a problem when I'm looking around at my family and I'm looking around at some of my friends and associates' families who they can barely purchase homes. I have an issue with that. Why is it we can barely purchase homes, but when you look at these neighborhoods in California, in Las Vegas in particularly, and we don't, for every 10 houses is probably one Black family, and they're probably renting and not owning. And if they are owning, they're thinking about selling. That's an issue for Warren, because if you play the game of Monopoly, what's the sole meaning of the game? To own property. Why is it we don't have this mentality of owning property? Why is it when we do get the mentality of owning property, property is so priced out the game, we can barely afford to get into a property? That's an issue that I have, because I want foundational Black Americans to have nice things because we are deserving of those nice things. That's why Warren feels the way he feels. So I don't care if we get reparations and half the niggas that get reparations go buy 10 Escalades. You damn right. You should be able to go do that because you earned that. Your ancestors earned it. Like I keep telling you, why is it the Goldmans and the Browns are trying to siphon money away from O.J. Simpson's children when they didn't commit those murders and O.J. Simpson was found not guilty? But you want to make the children suffer, but when it comes to us as the children suffering at the hands of your forefathers who were all white supremacists, including the famous Francis Scott Keys in the national anthem that we sing so eloquently and so soulfully, why is it y'all don't want to pay for their sins, but OJ's kids have to pay for his sins when he was found not guilty? Think about it. Because I don't think we do enough of that. I think we need to start realizing what's going on and have a different understanding. What does the Bible say? In all thy getting, get an understanding. Shout out to the homegirl Nuke, and shout out to the homegirl Roxanne as well, because we talk about that a lot. Excuse me. These are just things I want us to focus on. Like, one, why you be going hard about? Because I want every foundational Black American family to own a home. If it's 40 million of us, it should be 40 million homes that we own, or it should be 20 million homes that we own across the United States of America Incorporated. And I'm not talking about 20 million where we barely hold on to it, 20 million where we own right our home, our communities, because that's what it takes. That's what it takes to build a solid union. And we are a very disaggregate people because they have created this atmosphere for us, and they know they have. That's why it's all these distractions. That's why when I hear somebody even bring up protesting all that, I be laughing because I'm like, this ain't got shit to do with foundational Black Americans. If y'all notice, I haven't spoken about this shit. Been going on forever. I haven't spoken about this in a long time. You know why? Because I wanted to see how many foundational Black Americans was going to be getting involved in this shit. And then you start seeing all these black, not black celebrities, but just all these celebrities, period, trying to make and shame foundational Black Americans because we don't want to get involved. Well, we don't want to get involved because y'all don't get involved when it's time for us to get reparations. I don't hear y'all speaking up for that. Bernie Sanders, y'all don't get involved when it's time for us to get set aside for what is owed to us. Joe Biden, y'all don't get involved when we're trying to distinguish between a minority, people of color, and foundational Black American. Kamala Harris, y'all don't distinguish any of those things because you don't care. So since you don't care, we're going to give you that same energy. We have to give you that same energy. It's too late in the game. And I'm going to say it again. Foundational Black Americans should be homeowners. We should be invested in property. Big time. We should have enough property between us 40 million foundational Black Americans that we got hand over foot property. It shouldn't be that hard. You know why? It's been made that hard because we have the moral compass to do things that will change the atmosphere and change the narrative for the good with foundational Black Americans. I'm not saying all foundational Black Americans have the moral compass, but the majority of us, we possess it. And if we have the information, we're going to say it. Look, like I said before, man, people at these credit places and all this try to, well, look, you pay $500, we'll clean up your credit. No. Find out what you owe. Try to make deals with the people that you owe. And in the meantime, get your secure credit card, charge it, pay it. That's it. I'll say it again. Any outstanding debt that you owe or, bills that you got to pay or whatever, if that's on your credit, you get with those owners of those bills and see if you can work something out. But in the meantime, get your secure credit card, charge it, pay it. That's it. It's not hard. It's very simple. Information is power and it's key. And I think a lot of the times we, like the Phoenix Moors, it's either the Phoenix Moors or the Dragon Moors. No, we, like the Phoenix Moors, we want the knowledge to be so esoteric, we don't want to share it. But we need to start sharing it with each other because information is power, it's key. That's why can't nobody ever tell you, man, Warren be on there talking that bullshit, but he don't be teaching nobody, he don't be showing. I'll tell anybody any day. I've been telling my family about stock. I've been telling them about 401k. Been telling them about life insurance policies. I've been telling them about mutual funds. I've been telling them about building up your credit. I've been telling whoever would want to listen. That's who I tell. Like, look, bro, it ain't that hard. It's easy. Now purchasing a home might be a little bit tougher, but I think we can get that done. I think all of our foundational Black Americans that have the wherewithal can purchase a home. It just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, and you can do it. But look, man, that is my time. I am proud of FBA for not jumping and getting involved in that bullshit. You just don't stay out of it. It's very, very sad that they're getting into it over that and that they can't come to some type of happy medium where, the Palestinians stay on one side and the Jewish people stay on the other side. But I guess they can't work that out. I hope they're able to work that out. But I'm going to tell you, my mentality still stands, and that is I'm trying to replace a system of racism, white supremacy, and I'm trying to establish a system of justice. So no, you're not going to get me to talk bad about our Palestinian brothers and sisters, and you're not going to get me to talk bad about our Jewish brothers and sisters. That is a disagreement between those two racial groups, and hopefully they can work that out. We need to move aside, to move ahead, and establish a system of justice. I am done. Guilty, nigga. Peace. Oh, I'm proud of my people, man. FBA all day.